Right, in this video, we're going to look at the input action. So I've still got the test flow here that I created in the previous video. Now we'll just type an input into the actions option up the top left here. And it's come up with the subsection message boxes. And I'm just going to close this again and just show you, just jump down to message boxes. You can see that there's quite a few different options for a message box, which is good. So we've got the standards kind of displaying a message. We've got the input dialog, which is what we're about to look at. But then we've got a few other specific ones. So it just gives you a range of different options there that will pop up as a message box, especially the bottom one here, which is a custom form. So you can have whatever you want on it, which is really, really handy. So we're just going to use the display input dialog. So after it clicks, actually before we'll do it, we'll put it before. And so you saw there, I can drag and drop it on, and I can put it wherever I want to in this flow, in the list of actions. So I'll put this one above the mouse click action. And again, this one's going to come up by default with these sort of options. So input dialog title, we'll just say test title. And then this is the message. And then default value, which is a good feature here. Let's say our default is 5 for whatever reason, because that's going to make sense for whatever we're doing later in the flow. Then we've got these two variables that are automatically produced by this dialog. Now we've also got the input type here, whether it's single line, password, or multi-line. Generally, for this kind of input dialog, almost always I use a single line. I don't think I've ever used a password in my life for this particular input, or I think I might have used multi-line a few times, but very rarely. Generally, it's a single line, single entry kind of information we're wanting here. And then I'll often turn this, keeping the input dialogs. That makes it a modal window, which means it's on top of other ones, which is quite good. So it's not sort of hidden in the background. And then, yeah, the two variables that are produced here, user input and then button pressed. So button pressed will tell us, in this case, it's, I can't remember what are the two buttons now. Let's just save that for a second and run it and see what it looks like. And then I'll jump back in. So the buttons we get, I think it's maybe a cancel. Yeah, so it's a cancel and an OK. So that's what gets popped up there. So I'll just come back into it. It's just going through and doing the rest of the actions. So I'm just going to double click on it again to get the editable features back up, or the variables. So for button pressed, it's going to be either, it says it down here actually. So the user will automatically be given the choice of OK or cancel in this regard. If we want to have different options, if we want to have 3, like a yes, no, cancel, then that's where a custom form can come in. But in this case, it's going to give us one of those two values, either it be an OK or a cancel button. So we'll just save that. And then also, so the user input here that will come through as text. So even if I enter the number 5 here, which is obviously a number, it's still going through as text, which is important later. If you want to use it as a number in here and it's not in number format, then we do have to convert it from text to number format. But that's the display input dialog. So we can just see it running again. Now, important to note here, with the way that this is set up, we've got the comment at the top, test flow, we've got the input dialog next, and then we've got the send mouse click. At the moment, regardless of whether I choose OK or cancel, the automation is going to continue on and process subsequent steps. So another option is that I do have a conditional kind of statement depending on what button is pressed here. So if somebody does press cancel, then I might have an if statement that says, if they press cancel, stop the flow or go to this part of the flow. And that's something that we'll get into with the video on conditionals. But for now, it doesn't matter whether I press OK or cancel, it's still going to carry on and it's going to do that mouse click as the next option.